in the wake of the Juwan Howard incident, to me, the easy answer is you suspend him for the rest of the year. Now, they didn't suspend him for the rest of the year. They allow him to come back and coach in the Big Ten tournament. That might only be a game. It looks like right now Michigan is trending towards the NIT, something of that nature based on their schedule right now. I believe they're 14-11. Phil Martelli is going to step in, but you can't slap a guy in the handshake line. And I know, I would venture that almost every single coach in America in college and the pros at some point in time, almost every one of them, have wanted to slap or punch or hit or tackle the opponent at some point in time, right? Opposing coach. Whether it's football, whether it's basketball, you get all fired up. These are highly competitive guys, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. I guarantee you that every single one of them has thought that in the moment. But they all managed to restrain themselves from doing it. And so Juwan Howard, probably the only employee at Michigan who could attack a person at his job at the University of Michigan and not lose his job. So I didn't think he should lose his job. I'm not a cancel culture guy, but I did think he should be suspended given his past history with issues, including at the University of Maryland. I thought he should be suspended for the rest of this season and be able to come back next year. Now, not surprisingly, our good friends at Deadspin, and I want to make sure that you guys saw this, because look, Deadspin is the dumbest group out there in the grand scheme of things. When you see the things that they tweet, when you see their articles. Look, I used to not agree with Deadspin on a lot of different fronts, but there used to be intelligent pieces that they wrote. Now they are so wildly predictable and dumb and in no way actually remotely intelligent. And Deadspin wrote, of course, when it comes to Juwan Howard and Greg Gard, by the way, the Wisconsin coach, why is the black coach the only one suspended when the white coach started it? Like, okay, first of all, this shouldn't be a racial issue, although everything is a racial issue these days. And the reason is because the black coach hit the white coach, all right? Whoever throws the punch, you don't start it by starting an argument. And let me say this, by the way. There's almost no discussion about why this dispute started. Let me explain what happened in this scenario. You had a game that was already decided. Wisconsin has got its reserves in. They're trying to dribble the ball up the court, and Michigan is still pressing. They are still pressuring the opposing team. They get 10 seconds to get the ball across half court. If you have not gotten the ball across half court in 10 seconds, you take a timeout. The 10-second clock restarts, right? So in theory, you could take nearly 20 seconds to get the ball across half court if you take the timeout. So that was why that happened. If Juwan Howard was mad about the timeout, he could have stopped pressing and dropped his team back, and Wisconsin would have probably dribbled the basketball out. How often do you see college basketball games in where one team acknowledges that the game is over, they stop aggressively fouling or pressing, and what happens? One guy stands there and dribbles out the basketball, and the game is over. If Juwan Howard really wanted the game to be over, he should have stopped pressing. And from the Wisconsin coach perspective, as long as you're pressing, I'm going to continue to coach my guys. I'm not going to let them just turn the ball over and fail and teach them bad habits when they should be taking a timeout to avoid the turnover, because who knows when they'll actually be in that situation again. So I don't know why this issue was not raised, because Juwan Howard basically said, I'll remember that as a part of the handshake line to create the larger issue. And then, of course, he hit an assistant coach, which was not even the initial coach that he was arguing with in the first place. Just made no sense. And I think Juwan Howard got off light.